It's the follow-up. We all in.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Dr. Stubbs here, bringing you another edition of the follow-up. And in this episode, I'm going to be talking about 5 common mistakes that college students make. Now, these mistakes are going to be some of ones that I've experienced personally, and others I've experienced as a professional working with students for over a decade within the education sector. And that's from K through 12, that's higher ed, private school, so on and so forth. Okay, so let's get started. I got my list here, and they all work together, but there's a main theme here around all of these mistakes. And it starts with, first and foremost, your goal. Okay. One mistake many college students make is not going into college with an actual goal in mind. I know it may sound kind of like, what do you mean they don't have a goal in mind? Well, some people may think that a goal in mind is to go to college and graduate from college. Well, yeah, that's a goal. However, what I mean by a goal is an ultimate outcome. What is the outcome that you are looking to get out of your college experience? Yes, you can go to any college. All right. There's prestigious ones. There's community colleges. There's big colleges. There's small colleges. There's liberal art colleges. There's theological colleges. There's all types of colleges. So if you just want to go to college, you can pick any college and graduate. But the outcome, what is the goal that you are going into college for, is the ultimate question that you should have answered even before applying to college. So this question should be answered before you're even applying to college. Okay. So the first one is having a goal in mind. That's mistake number one. Mistake number one is that most students do not have a goal in mind. And now on to mistake number 2. Now, so think about it. Let's imagine you made the mistake that you didn't have a goal in mind. One thing that I always promote is speaking with your academic advisors. Okay. Now, if you don't have a goal in mind when you go to speak with your academic advisor, and you can go check out one of my other videos, it talks about questions to ask your academic advisors. That's really centered all around you knowing what your goal is and then being able to ask advisors questions based around that goal. So go check that video out if you already have your goal in mind and you're just wondering what to ask your academic advisors. But let's just say you don't have your goal in mind. You're going to go into your academic advisor's office, and their first question is going to be, well, what is it that you want to study? If you don't have a goal in mind, that's a very difficult question to answer. So most people say, oh, well, I'm thinking about, let's say business. Let's say business is the goal. That is just a general, business. I want to do business. I want to work in corporate. You really have to have that goal in mind to be able to speak with these advisors, because a common mistake is most people don't talk with their advisors. Some just simply do virtual sessions so that they can check the box so that they can register. You do not want to just go through the motions when talking with your advisor. You really and truly want to have your advisor as someone that you can rely on, someone that you can count on. Okay. Number 3, your career counselors. Now, here's a personal story. When I was in college, I should have been at my career counselor's office every single day because I did not know what I wanted to do. Okay. All I knew is that I was good at school. I like to learn. And that's why I stayed in education, stayed in it so long, wound up getting a doctorate. Okay. But if I could do anything to go back, and if they said, that old saying, what would you do differently? It would be to speak with my career counselors more often. Your career counselors can really help you navigate the career track that you have in mind. But remember, point 1 was having a goal. That's the first mistake, because if you don't have a goal, college is just a place that you're just at. You're not there with a purpose, and you need to have a purpose if you're at college. These career counselors can help you understand the income that you could possibly make, different career paths, but they can also help you understand certain skill sets that you may need to get into these career paths. And then if you're in certain skill sets or understanding of certain skill sets you need, you can then talk to your academic advisor about the courses that you're taking and helping to ensure that you're going to be gaining those skill sets in those courses if they're in that particular major or minor, or whatever the case may be. So this is a common mistake. Career counselors, a lot of people do not talk with them. I did it myself. I'm here to tell you, do not make the same mistake Dr. Stubbs did. Dr. Stubbs made this mistake. You do not want to make this mistake. And that's all I can tell you. Very important. Okay. The fourth common mistake, not talking with your professors. All right. A lot of people think the professors are just there. They're there to show up, teach you something, then you walk out and you leave. These professors have an immense amount of knowledge and connections and just awareness of their particular field. So if you have a goal in mind, you're in the right class, which means you're being taught by the correct professor. This professor is someone who you really and truly need to build a relationship with. You need to go say something to them before class starts, and you need to say something to them at the end of class as well. And let's not forget, most importantly, you need to participate in class. I've been an adjunct professor before. The professors know who is participating in their class. They like the students who are participating. They are more willing to help the students who are participating. Communication, collaboration, cooperation, all of these things are good in the professor's eyes when they look at you as a student. You talk to them before class, you bring up relevant topics. You may bring in some news you found off of Twitter or Facebook, whatever the case may be, current events, current research that just came out. Really go the extra mile to try to impress your professor, because those connections, their knowledge, their experience can really help you going forward. But you need to bring something of value to them, which is your participation, which is your attentiveness. OK, make sure you speak with them before class and after class. This is something a lot of students don't do, but I promise you, it will get you far, 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 and get you way further than your other counterparts there at the school if you do this, okay? And last but not least, make sure you go to class. This is a common mistake. We all like to think that we know everything and that we're so knowledgeable and, I've figured out life, and this class is easy. I read about this 2 years ago in my high school class, or whatever the case may be. Listen, please go to class, because those same professors, they know the students who come to class, and they know the students who don't show up for class. Those same professors know the students not only who come to class, but those who participate. All right. So make sure you go to class. I know it sounds kind of like, duh, come on, Dr. Stubbs. Of course we're going to go to class, but you'll be surprised the amount of students who do not go to class. Okay. Excuse me. So going to class is extremely important. So make sure you get into class. Okay. These are the 5 common mistakes that I just went through. Number 1 was having a goal in mind. Number 2 was not talking with your academic advisor. And number 3 was not talking with your career counselor. And number 4 was not talking with your professor. And number 5 is not going to class. All right. Make sure you don't make these common mistakes. A lot of people do. They may sound simple, foundational. Of course, Dr. Stubbs, everybody knows this, but I promise you, in my experience, it has caused a lot of students issues when they don't start with that number 1. Coming into college with a goal in mind. Make sure you do that. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. I'm at Dr. Stubbs. That's DOCTOR_Stubbs. If you have any quick questions for me, you need some advice, some advising on some of your college activities. I'm not an official academic advisor anymore, but I am an executive director of admissions at a community college here in Pennsylvania. So please, make sure you reach out and leave any comments in the section below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Okay. This is Dr. Stubbs, bring you another edition of the follow-up, and I'll see you on the next one. Talk to you soon.